A very good afternoon. In this session, we would start solving the prelims paper 2025 for GS. Now, we'll be solving the paper in 4 sets, 25 questions in each go. First, to remember the first 25 questions that we are solving, the questions mainly pertain to science and tech and environment section, and many of the questions were directly from NAOA climate.gov website. So, if you have gone through the blogs and the articles, you would be able to solve most of the questions. Many of the questions were direct, but there was a little trick in the questions. This time, the questions were statement 1, 2, 3, and then it was like which of the two statements support the other statement, or they are correct but they don't support. So it was a little tricky in terms of language. So read the question carefully before you solve. Now here the question talks about there are 3 types of vehicles given, and the question is asked which of them is used as an alternative powertrain vehicle. So full battery electric vehicle is definitely used as a powertrain vehicle. It's one of the best examples because the vehicles are entirely run on electricity stored in the battery. The next is hydrogen fuel vehicles. Again, here what happens is hydrogen and oxygen are combined through the chemical reaction, and finally you have the power that is driven for the fuel cell, and this again is used as an alternative powertrain vehicle. The next is fuel cell electric hybrid. So it basically uses the internal combustion engine as well as the electric motor. So it's a hybrid version, and again it is used as a powertrain. It is used as a powertrain vehicle. So you have 1, 2, and 3. All of these are used. So all 3 of these would be the correct option. Now these kind of questions usually make the thing confusing because sometimes the students are not able to understand whether they are sure about 1 or 2, but what about the other. So now here the question says unmanned aerial vehicles. Now this time this question was really important in light of the recent events. So unmanned aerial vehicles, all type of unmanned aerial vehicles can do vertical standing. That is incorrect. Okay, vertical standing is associated with vertical takeoff and landing capability. Now all unmanned aerial vehicles aren't capable of the same. There are mixed designs which are available, and some of them take the runway, right? So this is incorrect. The second is all unmanned aerial vehicles can do automatic hovering. Now again, automatic hovering can be usually done with multi-rotor unmanned vehicles. Okay, not all of them can do that. So again, this choice is incorrect. All the unmanned vehicles use battery only as a power supply. Again, that is incorrect. Some of them are battery powered, but other of them do have other power sources. There can be internal combustion engines, there can be solar power, fuel cell as an alternative. So understand, since the all word is given in all of these 3, you have to double check and double read before you finalize. So here none of these would be the correct option. Let's move to next question. Now again, very interesting question. We are talking about electric vehicle batteries. All of them are used in electric vehicle batteries, but the question is tricky. It talks about which of them are at the cathode end. Now graphite, as we know, is at the anode end. So graphite is not at the cathode end. Now cobalt, again, all of them are used, so that's what I already said. So cobalt, lithium and nickel are on the cathode end, and therefore of these 3 of them would be at the cathode end. Now this is a very basic question from science. Even if you have gone through the NCERTs carefully, you would be able to answer it. Now there are 3 things given, and it is asked in which of these plastic is commonly used. So cigarette filters are made up of cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate is what? It is a plastic. So this is correct. Eyeglass lenses. Now these lenses are made of series of plastics. It could be polycarbonate, it could be CR39. So again, plastic is used in some form. Car tires. Now car tires are a blend of synthetic as well as natural rubber, and therefore plastic is a polymer which is derived, and this would be again an example where we say plastic is there. So tire wear, when we say it's on the road, it leads to microplastic pollutions, as we know. So all of these 3 are correct, and all of these 3 have plastic in some form. The next question is, which of the following is used in coal gasification technology? Now, coal gasification technology can be used in production of ethanol. So the first one is correct. Now, in the NCRT's class 10th, we have already talked about coal gasification, syngas, which is the synthetic gas. So this syngas, which is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, if this is further processed, it would actually help in the production of ethanol. So the first one is correct. Nitroglycerin is not used in production of coal gasification. It's not related to coal gasification technology. Nitroglycerin is usually used in explosives, right? So the second one is not correct. Urea, yes, urea is used in coal gasification because urea production involves the production of the ammonia as well as carbon dioxide, and coal gasification actually produces hydrogen, which is then used with the synthesis of ammonia, that is NH3, right? So urea is the correct option. So ethanol and urea, two of these are correct, so only two would be the correct answer here. The next question, there are substances which are given here. Now all of these are energetic explosives which are named as, and therefore they are explosives used in military weapons. So of course this was one of the questions that we had expected in the light of the recent events in the month of May, and possibly one of the questions which has been very recently added. Now all of these three have some of the common characteristics, like they have a high density, they are explosive, they are usually used with military and ammunitions. They also have high amount of nitramine, which is explosive. Then again, the compounds that have been used, we'll discuss those in a separate class later. However, for now, since we would be solving the paper, this is one of the questions which was recently created. Now, Majorana chip 1, okay, this has been introduced by a topological core architectural process, and this is one of the first chips that has been released. Now this has not been introduced by AWS. AWS has introduced the chip Oaklet. Oculate, so that's again a separate one. So second one is incorrect. Deep learning is definitely a subset of machine learning, and as we had discussed in our classes on expected questions, if you have gone through the series carefully, we have extensively covered machine learning, deep learning. So here 1 and 3 are the correct ones, 2 is the incorrect option. So 1 and 3 are the correct options. The next question, with reference to monoclonal antibodies. Now monoclonal antibodies is a very, very interesting topic. If you have gone through the recent editions of Scientific American, monoclonal antibodies have been covered in detail, and these are extensively important topic in biological researches, right? So monoclonal antibodies are definitely made up of protein. They are indeed the proteins that are engineered in the laboratories to actually replace, or we could say mimic, the natural antibodies which are produced by the human immune system. So the first one is correct. Now the second one says, as I said, it is to mimic the natural immune system. So they stimulate the immunological functions due to their ability to bind to a specific antigen. So those antigen antibody reactions could be well understood with this. And then it is used to treat viral infections like Nipah virus. Recent researchers have been gone through it to treat various viral infections, and there have been significant successes and milestones that have been reached in the study of the Nipah virus. So this has been successful even in COVID-19, as it was highlighted in some of the researches. So all the three, 1, 2 and 3 are the correct statements here. Next one. The second question that we saw, all of them, the unmanned aerial vehicle, all of them had the option all. Here all of them have an option no. So when there are emphatic options, read them carefully. No virus can survive in ocean water, incorrect. There are bacteriophages and viruses which are present in the ocean bodies. So the first one is incorrect. No virus can infect bacteria, that's again incorrect, because virus infect bacteria and they are called as bacteriophage. So this again becomes incorrect. No virus can change the cellular transcriptional activity in the host cell. That is again incorrect, because that's the main function of the virus. They actually hijack the host, and therefore they change the transcriptional structure. So again this is incorrect. So all three of them are incorrect. So the question says which of them are correct. So none of them are correct would be the answer here. The next next question is activated. Now these type of questions, as we could see in the next 10 to 15 questions, these are a little tricky questions. You have to go through each of the statement carefully and then analyze which suits which one well, right? So activated carbon is good and attractive tool to remove the pollutant that we have already known. Activated carbon technology is one of the best technologies to remove the pollution from the river bodies, from the discharge, right? So statement 1 is correct. Activated carbon exhibits large surface area and has potential for absorbing heavy metals. Again, this is a very correct statement, because this actually is the primary reason, we could say, because they actually absorb, they don't absorb, they adsorb. The adsorb means they take it onto the surface, and if they have a large surface area, they would cover a large section on their surface area. The surface area would automatically increase. So this actually supports this is correct, and this also supports the statement 1. The next is activated carbon can be easily synthesized from the environment waste with high carbon content. That is again correct, because from the agricultural waste, from fruits, from nutshells, municipal solid waste, we are generating activated carbon. So again, this is a correct statement, and once synthesized with high carbon content, they can be used as an attractive tool to remove the pollutant. So both the statement 2 and 3 are correct. Now there are two choices that replicate this, but yes, I can say that both of them definitely support statement 1. So 1 would be the obvious correct choice here. The next question is, studies show that carbon dioxide emissions from the cement industry are more than 5%. That's correct, because it's usually 7 to 8% as documented in most of the text. Now silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing. That's independently a correct statement. However, this process does not cause higher amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Very, very important to note. The high amount of carbon dioxide which is caused in the environment is because of the calcination of limestone. Now limestone is converted into lime during the clinker production of cement manufacturing. That's correct. Now here we need to understand that in this process of converting into lime, there is release of carbon dioxide. So statement 3 definitely supports the reason for higher amount of carbon dioxide emissions. So we can say both statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them, that is the statement statement 3 correctly explains the statement 1. So B is the correct option here. The next very, very important question. Now COP28 we already discussed in our expected series, and it was a very expected question. Down to Earth had a special edition dedicated to COP28. Now COP28, India refrained from signing it on the Declaration of Climate and Health, and the main reason what India cited at that point of time was that it is not possible for India to decarbonize in such a small period of time, because there is, if we talk about globally, there is 5% of the greenhouse gas emissions that comes simply from the healthcare sector, and if we want to decarbonize it, that would require a huge amount of investment, and it is not viable for a developing nation like India at the present time. So that was the main reason India said no to it, right? So first statement is independently correct. COP28 is a binding declaration is incorrect. It is a legally non-binding declaration, right? And then if India's health sector is decarbonized, the resilience of the healthcare system may be compromised. That is correct, right? So here we need to understand that the statement 2 is incorrect, right? So the statement 2 is upfront incorrect, and the statement 3 is basically, we can say, one of the reasons that explain the statement 1, as it was one of the reasons that India cited for refraining to sign it. Now here, of the statements, I cannot say both the statement 2 and 3 are correct. So one of the statements of 2 and 3 are correct. That's correct, because 2 is incorrect and 3 is correct, and that explains the statement 1. That's again correct. So C is the correct option here. The next question, very, very interesting question. So back on geography now. Now scientific studies in the recent editions of National Geographic, we have seen this, have shown that there is a shift that is taking place on the Earth's rotation axis, right? Now there have been satellite images from GRACE, and they have shown well that there has been a shift. for sure. Now, solar flares and coronal mass ejections have bombarded the outer atmosphere with tremendous energy. That's correct. But this does not lead to the shift in the rotation or the axis. Very, very important to note, right? It causes immense amount of energy and charged particles to be released, but that is not one of the reasons that support the rotation of the earth, right? However, when we talk about global warming, there is polar ice which melts, and as a result the water would move towards equator. Now this redistribution of the mass from the pole to the equator would definitely have an impact onto the rotational axis. It's simple. If you understand the same example of the ice skater, they keep the hand outside and they try to spin, right? So that forces, if we talk about more, as we have done in our geography lectures, you will understand that this is one of the reasons that would be responsible for the shift in the Earth's rotation axis. So statement 2 and 3, both of them are correct, but of them only statement 3 explains the statement 1. So B would be the correct option here. The next question, very, very interesting question, right? Now here, Article 6 of the Paris Agreement on Climate Change discusses about sustainable development and climate change. That's correct. Now, the next statement says that Article 6 on the climate change sets out the principle of carbon market. That is correct. Okay. And the next statement says, so it's basically the market forces and the non-market forces, right? And then Article 6.8 says that it intends to promote inter-country non-market strategies to reach the climate target. That's again correct. So both market and non-market strategies are required for definite and fruitful discussion on sustainable development and climate change as under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. So both 2 and 3 are correct statements, and of these, both of them would be responsible for the statement 1. So here A would be the correct option. The next is the Nature Solutions Finance Hub for Asia and Pacific. Now this has been launched by ADB, the Asian Development Bank, and this aims to attract nearly $2 billion for the investment programs related to NBS, which is nature-based solutions. Very, very important. And recently we have seen a very high importance on nature-based solutions, Indian knowledge systems, and this is where the question lies in. Again, a very important question, direct air capture. Now again, this was one of the questions directly taken from NAOA climate.gov. Now here, the direct air capture is a technology through which from the atmospheric air we are trying to extract the carbon dioxide. So definitely it's a way of carbon sequestration for sure, and it helps in a way for producing the plastics and in food industries as well as in the aviation sector to create low synthetic carbon fuel, and this has been directly given as it is in the NAOA publication. So a very direct question that has been asked, the purpose of the direct air capture and its applications and uses well defined. So all of these three are the correct answers here, right? The next question, very interesting, tarantula. Tarantula, as you can see here, is also called as a Guti tarantula or ornamental tree spider. As you can see, it looks beautiful. So it's not a crustacean, it's an arachnid. So the first statement is incorrect. Its natural habitat in India is limited to certain forest areas. That is correct. And then it is in the natural habitat, it is an arboreal species. That means it remains on the tree, and that's what its other name is. It's a ornamental tree spider as it is called as. So definitely it lives on tree. It's an arboreal species. So B and 2 and 3 are the correct options here. The next question, carbon dioxide emissions in India are around 2 to 3 tons per capita. So this is a incorrect statement. India ranks second after China, and then after India comes Japan. So the second statement is correct statement. In India, the largest producer is electricity and heat, definitely. So electricity itself contributes to 40% of the greenhouse, and within electricity, fossil fuels are one of the major reasons or the major factors. So again, 3 is the correct option. So we have 2 and 3 as the correct option. So C becomes the right option. Now here we have to match which of them are correct, right? Mint is not a shrub, it is a herb. So this is correct. This is incorrect. Again, it is perennial. Papaya is not woody. So again, it is incorrect. It is herbaceous. Now, Malabar spinach is unique. It is a climber. Ginger is a pseudostem, we well know. And cassava is a woody shrub. So again, 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 4 and 5 are incorrect. So only 3 of the following pairs match correctly. The next question. With reference to earth, which of these are correct? Rainforests produce more oxygen than ocean. That is incorrect, because 70% of the oxygen comes from marine plants. So that is, the first one is incorrect. Rainforests contribute to only 28%. So first one becomes incorrect. The second statement, the marine phytoplanktons and photosynthetic bacteria produce 50% of the world's oxygen. That is correct. Well oxygenated surface water contains several higher fold oxygen than in the atmosphere. That is incorrect, because the solubility of oxygen in water is lower as compared to air. So 3 would be again incorrect. So only 2 would be the correct option. The next is with regards to Raja Ram Mohan Roy, which of the following statements are correct? He possessed a great love and respect for traditional philosophies of the East. Definitely correct, because he was one of the 4 founders who promoted the ideas of Veda, Upanishad and Tantras. He desired the countrymen to accept a scientific approach and principle of human dignity and social equality. That's correct, because he was one of the major reformers, and he talked about the systems against the systems like sati, child marriage, caste system. So both of these statements in light of Raja Ram Mohan Roy's contribution are correct. So C is the correct option. The next is with regards to non-cooperation, boycott of law courts and foreign code took place. There was no strict observance of non-violence, and there was establishment of panchayats to settle the dispute. However, the titles were revoked, they were surrendered, and they were not retained. So 1, 2 and 4 are the correct options. So only 3 of these were the correct ones. Now the irrigation device which is known as Aragat. Now this is one of the topics that has also been mentioned in the NCERTs. It is basically a Persian wheel or a water wheel. Now what happens is, there is a large vertical wheel that is there, and then there are earthen pots which are attached to it. So it actually rotates, and as it rotates you fill the water, and then it downpours on the other end, and that's how this works. So this is a kind of continuous irrigation system that has been discussed. Now Aragat has been mentioned in the NCERT text itself. Very, very important and very, very basic questions, and there are numerous buckets which are tied to it. So here is the correct answer for it. The next is some of the titles. Mata Visalya, Vichitta and Gunbara are related to Mahendravarman I. Now that's one of the direct questions from the section on history. Now Mata Vilasa was addicted to pleasures. Vichitta was related to curious mindedness. Gunbara was related to virtuousness. Similarly, there was Chitkar Puli, Letan Kura, and so on. So those were some of the titles which were associated with the Pallava dynasty's Mahendravarman I. So A is the correct answer here. The last question for this set talks about Fayan, a Chinese pilgrim who visited during the reign of Chandragupta II, and he was one of the major Chinese scholar who translated many of the texts into Chinese, and he was also known for his visits to major ancient universities like Nalanda in India. So Chandragupta II is the correct answer here. And Fayan's visits have been really important. Off and on we have seen questions on Fayan. So this was the first set of 25 questions. We'll be coming up with the next 3 sets in the next videos. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, and of course for mains, start preparing for answer writings with us. Thanks for joining in. Have a great day.